So today we're going to be reading Your Devotion Slashers xlistener Up in Here, the sequel. And we are currently at chapter 32, but I'm going to go back a chapter for the purpose of the recap. Alright, yeah, so, I haven't exactly read this in a little bit, so I do apologize for the inconvenience if I'm confused things up or anything like that. But let's get straight into it to not miss any more time. Let me see. So basically, we were in class. Class ended, and we're with our friends at the moment. And and it was after the break where at the time, like a couple chapters beforehand, our friends and Wyan just, they had a kind of I can't say like cut their relationship because they really didn't cut it, but kind of like they separated themselves from each other for a while until we got the guts, we apologized, and they apologized in return. Well, they apologized to us first, but then we profusely apologized more than them. And yeah, so there's still kind of some awkward stances still on this. So yeah, there's still some awkward stances in this. So yeah, there's gonna be some background mentions of characters kind of just still like kind of try not to push any more buttons than they've already been pushing. And well, honestly, I get it, and that's why we're seeing like some backgrounds here and kind of just, you know, them still kind of getting used to finally being with each other again. And anyways, eventually, whenever that awkward / reunition went past, you immediately went outside to go meet the usuals, which is basically Mikael. And it was also now the new one, the new man, Pennywise, otherwise known as It, or the Clown Killer, or the clownish killer is mentioned on here. Now he's waiting for us the same way as Mikael is right after, like the whole during the day while we're at class / school / hell. You know what I mean? And basically, now I can explain this on my own because I remember exactly what's going on here. So basically, as you guys were walking home, and you guys were talking, chit-chatting, whatever, Pennywise, Mikael started arguing, like they always do, and about, like, you know, affection and all that. Then all of a sudden it stops, like everything stops. Mikael just stops, and he just looks around, kind of just like, who the hell's there? And he made a secret agreement with Pennywise without even talking, and he went out. Mikael went away and to look for something or for some ones. So, basically Pennywise had to kind of like distract us and kind of just pull us back towards where we were supposed to be going, which was towards our house. So yeah, that's basically what is happening here. And he's trying to make excuse after excuses and just kind of avoiding the situation. And we're like, something is a little sussy about this. And yeah, that's kind of where we're basically at. And yeah, so that was just a grabbing explanation, but I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Anyways, let's get back to the present now. Hey y'all, so there will be mentions of a lot of things. First will be blood and just fighting in general. Wouldn't be surprised because freaking stupid idiots do that every time in the story. Continuing on, there will also be mentions of stalking / someone following you without you knowing. And if I have any etc. of warnings that I should have mentioned but probably forgot by accident, they will be on the screen right now. And with that, you guys have been warned.
I'm watching you.
Anyways, now we is officially in chapter 32. Returning home. Penny, are you serious? You unhappily muttered, feeling uneasy while the clown carried on pulling you through the forest. Why on earth won't either of you tell me what's going on? Without any warning, he stopped, his grip on your wrist tightening as he turned around to face you directly. You've never called me that before, Pennywise mentioned with a mischievous grin, looking like he was unusually happy about it. What's with the new nickname? Well, you shyly stuttered, avoiding his glance. Wilts a light pink shade coloring your cheeks, and you grew slightly embarrassed. It's just something that friends do. Yeah, they give each other nicknames so they don't have to keep dealing with the long names. For instance, Ashley gets shortened to Ash, and Samantha gets shortened to Sam. That's all. Is that so? He mused thoughtfully, his dark gold eyes glistening with devilish intent as his wicked expression grew. Is that why you're acting so nervous? No! Quickly shaking your head, you wondered why you even gave him a nickname in the first place. Your heartbeat increasing for some odd reason. Why were you so nervous? It just feels so natural. Look, are we heading back or not? Oh, I thought a minute or two ago you were against the idea of returning home. Penny smirked slyly enjoying how skittish you were behaving around him. Now you're okay with it? Hold on, I was never against the idea of heading back. You awkwardly trailed off. I was just worried about Mikael. It's not like him to turn around and disappear into the forest like that. Honey, relax. The clownish slasher cooed in a sickly sweet tone. He's a big boy. I'm pretty sure he can take care of himself. Still. You trustfully replied, his flirtatious mannerisms messing with your mood while your blush darkened. I'd much rather go and look for him. He'll be fine, cutie. Pushing your concern aside, Pennywise gave your hand a playful little squeeze before tugging you back in the direction of the slasher's house, plainly wanting to divert your attention from Mikael again. You're worrying too much. You opened your mouth to argue and demand more answers, but the two of you ended up reaching the front porch, forcing you to feel swiftly defeated and fall silent. Was Penny right? Were you really just overreacting things? After all, Mikael was insanely strong. It just wasn't like him to leave your side out of nowhere. Stiffening another sigh, you raise your hand and lightly knock on the door, trying your best to rearrange your thoughts and shove your anxiety to the back of your head. But then a smile softly spread across your face, happy by the person who'd opened the door. Hannibal. Ah, Ryan, what a lovely surprise. Welcome home, mi amor. The psychiatrist greeted you gently, placing both of his hands on your hips while he flashed you a very charming smile. I hope classes weren't too stressful today. They were fine. You hesitantly responded, wondering if you should tell Hannibal about Mikael's puzzling behavior or not. Really, I just overreacted over something afterwards. That's all, no big deal. Oh my, is that so? Hannibal questioned calmly, your alibi not fazing him or throwing him for a loop whatsoever. I certainly didn't take you one for one of those types. Oh, absolutely. You kept going with a false laugh, wanting to appear more worked up than you actually were. I just didn't expect something to happen, and it did. Stepping slightly closer, the psychiatrist wrapped his left arm around your waist and cradled your cheek with his right hand, his thumb and forefinger stroking the side of your face while he moved his lips delicately against your own. You know that's not what I meant. He murmured sweetly, his seductive attitude causing you to grow flustered. Then, what did you mean? Stammering over your words, you stumbled throughout your reply and became a stuttering mess, now feeling hugely awkward once you realized that Penny was still watching. I meant that I really didn't expect you to lie to me. Hannibal innocently hummed. Sorry for the spray, Ralph. Sorry. Fiending hurt as he hugged you tighter. You wouldn't, would you, Ian? Of course I'm not, you murmured bashfully. choosing to keep Mikha's decision in the dark and hide the truth about his abrupt departure. Why would you even suggest such a thing? True. Hannibal pleasantly agreed, shooting in another one of his sweet smiles, whilst he used his right hand to stuck a stray of hair behind your ear. Besides, you never lie to me. You're starting to sound as though you don't trust her. Pennywise pointed out casually, curiosity clouding his voice as he studied the other killer's mindset. Excuse me, but I don't recall ever saying that. but you are saying it though. Like, why would you ask us such, oh, well, I just don't think you'd lie to me. Like, it's clearly in the sentence, Just like imagine if you were telling the truth to someone, quote unquote, and they'd be like, "Oh, well, I thought you wouldn't lie to me," and then you'd be like, "Oh fuck, they know I'm lying," Like instantly in your head you're like, "Oh, they're catching on. I gotta divert. I gotta retreat," And then the clown's just like, this is confusing. Like this is confusing. I must ask the question aloud. It's like fucking, he's in class or something, I swear. Anyways, where was I? Okay. Hannibal breezily brought up, his taunting tone and arrogant attitude beginning to aggravate the clown. I swear, some creatures can be so unbelievably unintelligent sometimes. Don't you think so, Ryan? Well, me? Unintelligent? Half laughing in disbelief, Penny narrowed his eyes and glared straight at Hannibal coldly, disliking the derogatory tone that he was using towards him. Oh, give me a break. I know all about you, and you're nothing more than a mere human to me. I'd be surprised if you didn't, considering you're supposed to be, what was it again? Hannibal paused and pretended to think, purposely forgetting what he knew about the clown. Ah, yes. Eater of worlds. How pedestrian. He's like, it's giving pedestrian. Oh my goodness. That's another synonym for, it's giving pedestrian. That's another synonym for that. Anyway. Hannibal, you sighed in despair, shaking your head at his underhanded words, and before placing both of your hands on his shoulders and breaking apart from him. Don't start. This isn't like you. Oh, my dear sweet YN, I would never start something in front of you. Fucking liar. He smoothly spoke, cupping either side of your face with both hands and stroking your cheeks passionately. Is that so? You quizzed with raised brows, sarcasm dripping from your voice while you tried to calm down your uncontrollable heartbeat. At least I have a title. Pennywise, I said that so wrong. I'm so sorry. At least I have a title. Pennywise mocked maliciously, resentment flowing through his tone as he retaliated, instead of being known as the pathetic earthling who feasts on their own kind's flesh. Penny, please don't continue this. You groaned in frustration, wanting to facepalm whilst this pointless argument carried on. Why? You and I both know he's a filthy little cannibal. He bursted out, releasing an extremely maniacal laugh before shoving the psychiatrist to the ground violently. Hannibal! Kind of deserves it, I'm not gonna lie. You panicked in alarm, going into shock and feeling scared. Are you okay? I'm fine, Angelo mio. Please don't concern yourself over me. Hannibal politely reassured you, sending you a kind smile whilst he managed to stand back up with ease. It was just a childish shove, after all. In any case, I would have assumed historical creatures like himself were above such petty playground insults and immature behavior. Oh, you really don't want to start insulting my background. The clown coolly informed, switching over to the darker form he'd used down in the sewers and behaving fearfully different from earlier. I'm warning you. What's wrong? Have I perhaps touched a sore spot? Hannibal asked angelically, a tinge of mischief leaking through his normally calm and collected tone as he shot Pennywise a slight smirk. A sore spot. Don't make me laugh. Looks like it was up to you to rescue said situation. Quit it. Like, I'm done. I'm done. Like, this, I would not put up with this bullshit, I swear. Alright, y'all. We is in chapter 33, Evening Outbreaks. Quit it! You fiercely shouted, trying your best to defuse the present situation and put an end to their pointless fighting. Why should I? Pennywise retorted with a scornful laugh, immediately growing defensive. He was the little shit that started this in the first. I don't care. Rolling your eyes, you faced them both and interrupted his childish complaint, taking a deep breath before carrying on. You still shouldn't have shoved him, Penny. There is no need for that. You gotta be kidding me. Pennywise replied resentfully, throwing Hannibal an icy glare whilst he flickered between his dark form and clownish one. I wouldn't waste my time trying to reason with him, whined Dearest. Hannibal joined in with a condescending smile, moving closer to you and running his fingers through your hair lovingly. He's hopeless. I will end you, Hannibal. You sternly spoke, stopping both slashers from speaking a second time. Penny isn't hopeless. You're trying to provoke him on purpose. I'm not blind, you know. Of course you're not. The psychiatrist responded pleasantly, holding your right hand with his left one and giving it a soft squeeze. I was merely stating that there was no need to associate yourself with him just because of a simple agreement. The others and I can always just, that's it. Oh, look at him, saying his own name. Pennywise snapped furiously, lunging straight at Hannibal and tackling him towards the front of the front door's floor. I should have killed you the moment I saw you down the sewers. Funny, I thought the exact same thing. Hannibal told the clown with a slight smirk, not concerned by the act of violence whatsoever. Penny, stop, please. Please stop. You anxiously exclaimed, rushing to his side and shaking in distress. He's doing it intentionally. You know that, right? So, materializing a knife into his hand, Pennywise grinned darkly, obsessed with putting an end to the psychiatrist as he held the weapon high up in the air. And I'm supposed to care? Because then you're giving him exactly what he wants. You desperately pointed out, grasping at random straws while you attempted to calm down the current conflict. Why do you even care? Penny questioned quizzically, his darker side dying down as he frowned in confusion. After all, this had been between him and the stuck-up psychiatrist. You hadn't been included. That better be a trick question. Sarcasm trickled through your tone whilst you answered him, sighing before helping the clown back up to his feet. I just don't get it. Pennywise sharply retaliated, vanishing and returning your side instead of accepting your help. What is it with you? What are you talking about? You asked tiredly, bewildered by what on earth Pennywise meant by that question. I messed with your mood. I messed with your mind. I messed with your friendships. I tried to drive you insane. I tried to create fear. The clown mentioned in a frustrated fashion, staring at you with nothing but the utmost of anger. But nothing's worked. So then what was supposed to work? Hugh dryly commented, more sarcasm flowing from your voice as the three of you actually entered the slasher's household. Before you can get any sort of answer, Penny snatched up your wrist and made you stop in the middle of the hallway, his dark gold eyes gazing into your own as a creepy grin spread across his facial features. It means that you're impossible to read. Well, I'm not a book, you playfully remarked, your quick-witted response causing Pennywise to chuckle deviously and calm down from his prior argument. That you're not, he agreed wickedly, growing increasingly more obsessed by your uniqueness as he pulled you a tad bit closer. That you're not. He previously played with you just to ripe up the dream demon, but now, everything. And then this is just the background of him just being obsessed with us. It's kind of weird. Honestly, it's really, really weird. But, and then he's like, and she's pretty cute for a mere human girl, too, huh? I'm like, At least he's honest. Damn. Good for him. We need honesty in this world. Anyway. Penny, you quietly called, snapping it out of his thoughts by patting his shoulder. Are you okay? Mi amor, I wouldn't. You're not just a book. You're so much more. Grasping both of your wrists, Pennywise's grin darkened, the killer's clown's face changing into a more hungry expression. I mean, it's not your fault that those other 5 can't see how special you really are. Wait a minute. You timidly protested, feeling a tiny bit intimidated by how possessive Pennywise was behaving. I'm not really all what you're making me out to be. Oh, Ryan, you're back! A happy-go-lucky voice greeted you joyfully, interrupting the random act of intimacy and brightening up the atmosphere. Welcome home. Oh, Norman, pulling away from Pennywise, you try to make it appear less seductive, noticing how provocative it suddenly looked. How's it going? Is everything all right? Nothing's happened between the two, is there? Norman questioned with a hurt gaze, worry washing across his face while you internally panicked. Oh no, did he think... Norman, please settle down. Your mind's ramping up from the current turn of events. Hannibal stepped in smoothly, keeping his tone calm and collected whilst he stood in front of you as a precaution. It was simply acting tremendously impolite towards her. He wasn't being impolite towards me, you hurriedly defended, accepting the bubbly hug from Norman before standing by yourself. I just wasn't expecting it, that's all. Still, he grabbed you by your wrist and coerced you into an uncomfortable position against your own will, no less. Hannibal stated calmly, "Excuse you?" I know the hell he didn't, because it's giving, the time where basically he threatened to kill our mom if we didn't go with them and live at their place, I don't know if any of you guys still remember that. I still remember that. I'm still angry about it. Very angry. Because that is not fair. Like, straight up. You can kiss my booty cheeks, man. Because that is falso. Falso. Because you did the same thing, but instead you threatened to kill our mother and then, that was not a good day for anybody. Honestly, that was not a good day for me, for Norman, for... Mika didn't even fucking care. Freddy, I don't even think he even cared. Hannibal, he planned out all along. I'm telling you. Right now, he is no victim here. I'm gonna be pissed. I'm like, the point is, you threatened to kill my mom. And no one, not even the devil himself could threaten my mama. Okay? Okay, because if this would have been my story in real life, my mom would not be as soft-hearted as this mom is, because she would have been like, oh, you want to fight, bitch? Let's put up these hands right now. Like, oh my goodness, my mom would have fought anybody and everybody to help me. Like, I swear. Anyways, not gonna be mean towards our mother in the story, because, she deserves respect too. Anyways, Hannibal stated calmly, wrapping his arm around you from behind and making sure that you were closer to him than either Norman or Pennywise. Are you really willing to say that you were alright with that, dearest? I think you're taking this a bit too... Leave her out of this, Pennywise angrily commanded, giving Hannibal an insanely vicious glare as he started to lose it. You manipulative, scheming little earthling. Both of you stop it. Norman stepped in at once, hatred flooding across his facial features as he pulled you in his direction. You guys are stressing Ryan out. Actually, I think I'd just like to head upstairs and put my bag away. You decided wearily, raising your hand as a wave before heading upstairs and entering your bedroom. At last, a few moments of peace and quiet. Well, look who's home. A new voice drawled out devilishly, spoiling your seclusion once you shut your bedroom door and spun around. Of course. A bit early for you to be in the real world, isn't it? Speaking in a worn-out tone, you dropped your bag in front of your bedside table and stood straight, facing said person with raised eyebrows. Stop. I missed you. The dream demon possessively purred, his emerald green eyes now glinting with amusement as he took a step closer towards you and ran his knifed hand throughout the left side of your hair. So don't be too hard on me, dollface. But I spent time with you last night. You reminded him curiously, hating how easy it was for his touch to increase your heartbeat and color your cheeks a faint pink. How could you... That was last night. This is now. Freddie answered arrogantly, his obsessive attitude starting to show as he enjoyed stroking your hair with his blades. Besides, you spent time with the clown, the psychiatrist, and the stalker today. How exactly is that fair? This isn't about what's fair and what's not fair, you argued back firmly, your blush blossoming from a light pink to a heavy bubblegum. This is about what I want. And right now, I want to... Oh, this is about what you want, isn't it? How cute. Freddie's smile twisted into a smug one to a sadistic grin, the slasher clearly finding your remark to be somewhat funny, whilst he used his left hand to cradle the other side of your face. You think I care? Actually, I never assumed that you cared, you festily told him, smiling at his antics and decided to head back downstairs for dinner, because I already knew. I knew for a fact that you were a complete and utter asshole. You tell him, honey. You tell him right now. Oh, good for you. Good for you, honey. Good for you. Period. Alright, y'all, so we is in chapter 34, dinner time drama. Drama at the dinner table is never good, unless you're like, it's Thanksgiving. That's like the only time it's actually like juicy, you know what I'm saying? Or when you're chatting with like one person and they're telling you about like old drama or like drama that's recently happening that you might be interested in, that's when it's good. That's when it's good, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary people. Anyways, you already read that part. Touche. Freddie evilly chuckled, not expecting your response to be so direct as he followed you downstairs into the kitchen. I prepared something for you if you'd like. If you like, mine dearest. Hannibal offered politely, his soft smile and pleasant expression striking you as very charming. While I appreciate it, I think I'd rather make something for myself. After declining his offer hesitantly, you headed towards the refrigerator and took out some spaghetti. Still not used to Hannibal's ethnic tastes. Fair enough, he replied in a gentle fashion, finding your response to be extremely amusing once he noticed how nervous you were when it came down to his particular mannerisms. What are you making? What are you making? Norman asked excitingly, clasping his hands together as he stood next to you, glancing towards the counter. Oh, I'm just cooking up some spaghetti, you lightly announced, making sure not to burn it while you stirred the spaghetti in the pot. I usually just add bits of bacon, different bits of chopped vegetables, some seasoning, this and that, and just things to spice it up. That sounds delicious. You know what also sounds delicious? If they tried some fucking Hispanic food or ethnic food, oh, they'd be running, bro. Running. Gulping that food, bro. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, bro. I can guarantee you. They would like drown themselves in that food. How good it is. Anyways. Sorry. Anyways. The shy male complimented you cheerily, hugging you from the side and causing you to drop the spoon while you were using to stir. As much as I enjoy your flattery, I'd prefer it if you didn't almost make me drop the spoon, you wryly commented, leaving the spoon in the pot before you wrapped your arms around Norman in return. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Norman apologized immediately, his anxious expression and guilty gaze making you release a heartwarming laugh straight after. I'm just teasing. You shooting him a little smile, you kissed his cheek and then pulled away, finding his worry to be funny. Why don't you go and sit down whilst I prepare the rest of dinner? Or are you waiting to eat Hannibal's meal instead? Oh, I'm definitely eating yours, Norman responded in a bubbly tone, his expression brightening up as enthusiasm washed over his face without delay. Oh my. It seems as though I'm being somewhat replaced here. Hannibal playfully messed, finishing up preparing his meal before he curled his arms around your back from behind and resting his chin atop your shoulder. Well, maybe you just need to step up your game then, you saucily taunted, spinning around and facing him as you placed both of your hands on his shoulders and stuck your tongue out mischievously. Perhaps I do. The psychiatrist agreed seductively, his voice barely above a murmur while he flirted back and carried on hugging your waist. Hey, asshole, instead of making the rest of us sick with your shitty flirting, why don't you just go and sit down at the table and leave Ryan the hell alone? He's like, I'm tired of this shit. Freddy cut in venomously. His dark emerald eyes, sorry, I gotta control my emotions here, gleaming with hatred as he shoved Hannibal to the side without delay. Oh, ho, ho. I had no idea that dream demons lost their control of their jealousy that fast. Pennywise sweetly cooed, his tone of voice setting off Freddy whilst the clown joined in with the childish conflict. What, you want a piece of this? The dream demon snapped back sharply, using his gloved hand to drag his blades down the side of Penny's arm and causing blood to drip. Freddy, stop. Please, just stop, okay? You shouted in distress, panicking as he and Pennywise fought back and forth without a second thought. I wouldn't worry about it, Wyan. Recovering from his shove a moment ago, Hannibal moved back over and gave your shoulder a comforting squeeze, wanting to calm you down in some way. They're both nothing but a pair of fishing tools, fighting fools. And besides, it's not as though they have the skill or strength to actually take one another out. But the blood! You worried unhappily, watching both serial killers battle it out as you grew increasingly more uneasy. I just try to ignore them. Norman sighed with a shake of his head, trying to shift your awareness away from Freddy and Pennywise. I mean, they'll eventually stop. Eventually. Even so, you uncontrollably huffed, can't you just, the two of you just quit it? It's stressing me out. And besides, I'd rather much eat dinner in peace. What, huh? How are we stressing you out? You aren't even involved in said fight. Pennywise pointed out in bemusement, looking completely bewildered while he turned around to face you fully. That's not the point. You groaned in frustration, his response making you want to facepalm as you wondered how to react. All I meant was that what she meant was that the both of you were... fuck! I thought it was Freddy. I'm so sorry. What she meant was that you were both irritating her. Hannibal summed up with a sigh of his own, placing his other hand against his forehead and acting somewhat annoyed. Wait a second, that's not what I swear. This all started because of you, you stupid son of a bitch. Freddy hissed at Pennywise viciously, hating not only the psychiatrist, but now the clown too. All of you stop it already. You angrily shouted aloud, clenching your fist and struggling to remain calm, while you looked at all of the slashers with aggravation. Ryan, are you okay? Norman explained asked in a tiny voice, worry washing over his expression as he cuddled you from the side like he usually did. I'm fine. Now, can we all just eat without any more fighting? Please. You begged pleadingly, hugging Norman before throwing everyone else a desperate look. I'd be more than happy to, mi amor. Hannibal warmly agreed, flashing you a charming smile while he placed his meal on the dining room table and calmly took a seat. Oh, I can't wait to eat your food, Ryan. Norman excitedly exclaimed joyfully, his happy-go-lucky mood calming you down ever so slightly. You always just cook the yummiest meals. Thank you. You happily smiled, Norman's kind compliments warming your heart as you placed your food on the table too. But then, you swiveled your attention over to Pennywise, wanting to include him also. Hey Penny, you want to eat this as well? I know you don't necessarily need to, but human food can taste just as good too. Sometimes at least. You're asking me to join you? Pennywise questioned dubiously, surprise filtering across his facial features, whilst the curiosity flooded his dark gold gaze. Well, she ain't asking Dr. Seuss. Freddy mocked. I'm so sorry. Freddy mocked in his usual malicious tongue. Yeah, come on, it'll be fun, I promise. Taking a hold of Penny's hand, you gave it a friendly squeeze and led him over to the table, sitting down first as you waited for the clownish killer to either accept or decline. You can't be fucking serious. But he was just fighting with... And? Don't act like as if you guys haven't fought with each other before either. Anyway, I promised to keep spending time with him too. Remember? You reminded Freddie and Norman firmly, your words causing them both to glare coldly. If you spend a little time with me too. Wait, what? Oh, hold on. This is the background. Sorry. I got it confused. So this is the background whenever she agreed to hang out with Pennywise. Yeah. So, would you like to? You asked Pennywise the second time, patting the seat next to you and feeling a little nervous. Enjoy dinner with us? Well, with me? Of course, you don't have to. It's just, that's really nice of you. Penny cautiously agreed. The clown not expecting you to be so kind while he decided to sit down and accept. And you're actually alright with this? Trying your best to be pleasant towards him, you began eating your food and struck up a carefree conversation, feeling weirdly happy whilst you started speaking to the sadistic slasher next to you. Look at that. Look at us. Y'all, I just got some really lucky. Like, there was an ad about to play, and then it just got stopped. Like, randomly just stopped. And just went, oh, oopsie. Ad went wrong. Just skip to the next chapter. And I was like, best thing ever. Oh my gosh, that's some lucky shit right there. That don't happen out often, you know. Anyways, chapter 35, Shadowy Figure. Oh, hold on. Norman cheerfully bursted out, clapping his hands together before bounding ever closer and flinging his arms around you in a very tight hug. Thank you so much. Wyatt, you always make the best dinners. I have to admit, despite my rather particular diet preventing me from participating in your select variety of your foods, your cooking levels are definitely above par. I'm incredibly impressed by your efforts this evening, Angelo mio. Oh, it's Angelo mio. I can't remember, sorry. Hannibal praised pleasantly, sending you one of his respectful smiles, whilst picking up one of your dirty dishes to be polite. Why, thank you, kind sir, you playfully replied, releasing a light laugh as you stood up and pushed your chair in. Though, I think now, probably just before you could finish your sentence, however, a certain stalker scooped you up in his arms from behind and hid his face in your hair, the silent male clearly having missed you while he held you so close to his chest. Wait, Mikael? Your eyes widened in shock, not expecting him to be back so soon, while surprise filled your facial features. I don't understand. I thought you'd be headed back into the forest. What? Mikael didn't bother to fully walk you home this time around? Hannibal commented casually, throwing indirect shade at Mikael while he watched the white-masked killer embrace you possessively. How unthoughtful. No, it's not like that, you hurriedly defended, feeling silently guilty as Mikael twirled you around obsessively. He walked me most of the way home. What happened earlier has nothing to do with you. Pennywise snapped at Hannibal childishly, staring at the psychiatrist down with a cold and threatening glare. So back off, earthling. If it has nothing to do with me, then I'm assuming that it has nothing to do with you either. At least, not anymore. Hannibal deduced cleverly, trying to push Pennywise away from the recent state of affairs also. What do you mean, what happened earlier? You suspiciously quoted, glancing from Pennywise to Mikael with uncomfortable curiosity. What, you're not going to tell her? The killer clown summed up with aggravation, his mind clouded with frantic confusion whilst his bemusement blossomed towards Mikael. Why not? Do you really think keeping her in the dark is the best way to keep her safe? Because I clearly don't. Keeping me in the dark. Mikael, what is he? You don't get to actually finish your question due to Mikael moving at the speed of light and shoving the other slasher straight into the wall with extreme rage. Leave it alone, clown. Now. Mikael wrote furiously, holding it up so Penny could see a few moments later. You've gotta be joking. Teleporting a few meters to the side, Pennywise half laughed and then lunged back at him in return, intent on revenge. You can't just tuck it under the rug. Are you nuts? Penny, don't. You had happily pleaded, hugging his arm and holding on to him as you looked up at him with a word glance. Please, don't start. Just tell me what's going on. Come on. I'd tell you if I could. Norman remarked tearfully, his gaze glued to the ground as his expression twisted into one of shame. I'm sorry, Wyan. It's all right, Norman. He confronted the upset man in a sympathetic voice, giving his hand a gentle squeeze before swiveling your attention over to the others. Hannibal, do you know anything about this? Believe me, mio Florino. I think I said that so wrong. Folding his arms, the psychiatrist threw you a pitiful smile and shook his head, plainly having no idea either. If I had any insight, I would inform you immediately. Liar. I'm sure you would. Your tone dripped with sarcasm as you doubted his response, unsure whether or not to take his reply seriously. Penny, will you tell me what's going on? I mean, you're standing right next to me before Mikhail decided to leave. Why, of course. The clown agreed at once, his wicked grin and deceitful attitude causing the conflict to even feel more chaotic. I would have told you sooner, except... Mikhail interrupted Pennywise as quickly as he possibly could, wrapping his arms around your waist and tugging you back into his chest, face first. Mikhail! You huffed his name in annoyance, staring up at him with desperation while struggling to unravel the truth. Please, just want to know what's going on, that's all. Once he'd released his hold on you, Mikhail scribbled down his next response in frustration, shooting his answer to you in a second or two afterwards. I'm just trying to protect you. Can't you see that? I can see that, you consciously responded, watching your words and not wanting to rile Mikhail up any further. Believe me, I can, but I'm begging you. Can you please tell me what happened back there in the forest? I think we'd all like to know, to be perfectly honest. Hannibal sided with you sternly, curiosity filling his facial features as the attempt to move you away from Mikhail. He attempted to move you away from Mikhail. After all, this is all starting to sound rather suspicious, even going by your standards. What the fuck are you talking about, Myers? Because I'm kind of getting bored by this point. Freddy joined in fiercely, the dream demon leaning against the wall and complaining without any kind of restraint or control whatsoever. Yeah, what's going on, huh? Norman boldly demanded, the timid male wanting to find out and help you in any way that he possibly could. Well, if you're not going to tell her, then I guess it's up to me. Pennywise angelically purred, purposely trying to provoke Mikhail and cause conflict. The pale-faced slasher severely shook his head, plainly not wanting Pennywise to be the one to tell you. Don't you dare! Just shut up. Go on, then. Pennywise grinned creepily, his dark gold gaze glinting with evil enjoyment. Unless you plan on lying to sweet YN over there, Mikey boy. Whoa, let's not start something that I'll have to finish. You wearily cut across the clown, glancing from one slasher to the other with an uneasy expression. I'm sure Mikhail will explain, won't you? Feeling infuriated, Mikhail icily glared and decided to just give in. Taking a while to write before passing the notepad around and informing the others first. I see. So that's what's going on. Hannibal mused over Mikhail's response thoughtfully, handing it over to Norman next while you wondered about what could possibly be happening. I don't understand. Is everyone... Oh, no. What do we do? Norman sobbed in distress, breaking down into dramatic tears before cuddling into your side fearfully. Oh, give me that. After rolling his eyes, Freddy snatched Mikhail's notepad straight out of Norman's hand and skimmed right through the silent and stalker's scrawl. The dream demon demanding answers. Why are you all stressing out? What's the problem? You asked anxiously, shifting from one foot to the other as you struggled to stay calm and collected. Why, dearest, I really don't think this is something you should know about. Hannibal smoothly spoke, placing his hand gently on top of your shoulder, while sending you another one of his courteous smiles. I want to know, you stubbornly persisted, facing Hannibal head on and growing even more troubled by the minute. We may as well tell her. After all, she's bound to find out anyway. And besides, we can't hide it from her forever. Ain't that right, sweet cheeks? Oh my goodness. The dream demon drawled out with dark amusement, his green eyes gleaming devilishly while he tossed the notepad in your general direction. Choosing to ignore him completely, you instead held out the notepad between both hands and focused on reading what Mikael had wrote, surprise filtering across your facial features as you wondered how to react. And why was that exactly? Because someone was watching us, watching YN, following her back from the university. Isn't that a shocker? Ooh! Anyways, guys, your girl sadly has to go. But anyways, my question for you guys that I would like you guys to, like ask yourselves, and then without reading ahead, and just asking yourself in general. Also, sorry, my phone is like fucking low, but I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna say. So, who do you guys think was hiding in the bushes? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm not spoiling anything. No spoilers over here. If you want to read ahead and find out, it's going to take a lot of chapters before you actually find out who it is. But eventually you'll find out more little, like, Pickett's details. Like, barely, but, like, just enough to where you can guess in general aspect. But, just, yeah, let me know who you guys think, was following us, home. Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, guys, just let me know in the comments down below. But sadly, your girl sadly gotta go. So I hope, and y'all better be doing this. Y'all better be liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell for more amazing videos, y'all. Because, I believe I earned it. But, whatever is in your opinion. All I'm gonna give you as a hint is that it's not any of the current slashers we know. And it's not a ghost. And it's not necessarily someone you guys would expect. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah. They literally weasel in somehow without being caught. But yeah. Anyways, so you guys gotta go. Hope you guys have an amazing, great, amazing day. Bye and peace.